Tao of Jeet Kune, page number 21. Know the emptiness and tranquility of your mind. Be empty. Have no style or form for the opponent to work on. The most dangerous individual is an individual that is completely spontaneous. He has no style, because once you have a style, you know how to prepare. It's like somebody who's watching a video of the person that he's gonna fight. Like, he already has in his mind a preparation, and that's what all sport fighters do. They always prepare against who they're gonna fight. They never really deal with something that's spontaneous, a person that has absolutely no style. The attack could come at any moment, at any time, and you don't know what they're gonna do. Recently, there was a bombing. People use guns. People use knives. It's just, these are not styles, these are just people being violent. But when you say, this person practices boxing, he's a boxer, then you already have an idea of how to prepare. Oh, this person's a kickboxer. Oh, this person's a cage fighter. Oh, this person's a judo practitioner. This person's a wrestler. This person's a football player. It's like, anytime you have an idea of what the person specializes in, then it constricts the person. When you claim a style, when you have no style, then anything goes, then you don't know what's going to happen. You really don't know what's going to happen. So when you don't claim any styles, that's when you become the most effective in what you do. Because people can't prepare for somebody when they have no knowledge of what the person is capable of. The mind is originally without activity. The way is always without thought. He's talking about the power of being in meditation. No thoughts. In the moment. Insight is realizing that one's original nature is not created. One's original nature is not created. It is just who you are, who you're meant to be, how you're born. It's just being natural, just being yourself. There will be calmness, tranquility, when one is free from external objects and is not perturbed. Being tranquil means not having any illusions or delusions of thusness. There is no thought, only thusness. What is? Thusness does not move, but its motion and function are inexhaustible. To meditate means to realize the imperturbability of one's original nature. Surely, meditation can never be a process of concentration, because the highest form of thinking is negation. Negation is a state in which there is neither the positive nor its reaction as the negative. It is a state of complete emptiness. Meditation is almost the complete opposite of concentration. Concentration is put on a focal point. You're thinking about something, And Osho would explain it as in like tunnel vision. Like you're looking down a tunnel and then you cannot see everything that's around. You're just stuck on one focal point. That's concentration. Meditation is almost the opposite, in where you are just completely aware. There is no tunnel vision. You're just within everything, you know. You see everything, you hear everything, you feel everything. You're just a part of the whole. And there's no mind. Concentration is the mind, the concentration of the mind. The mind is dropped in meditation. So concentration and meditation is clearly not the same. Concentration is a form of exclusion, and where there is exclusion, there is a thinker who excludes. It is the thinker, the excluder, the one who concentrates, who creates contradiction because he forms a center from which there is distraction. So concentration, you're still there, the mind is there, you're thinking, and you're trying to concentrate. You don't want to be disturbed because you're concentrating. Meditation is not concentration. Meditation is just being aware. So there's no such thing as being disturbed when you're just aware, because you're just aware of what's going on. There's no mind in the way to step in and say, it has to be this way. Like there must be silence. No. Meditation is just being aware of your surroundings, so that you cannot be disturbed because you're just aware of what's going on. There's no mind to say that you are disturbed. There is a state of action without the actor. A state of experiencing without the experiencer, or the experience. It is a state bound and weighted down by the classical mess. Talking about meditation once again. You are not an actor. You just become the action. There is no separate you, no separate I that's thinking. That's thinking that you are separate from the action. You become the action. You're just at one with the action. There is no such thing as you who is experiencing something. There is just the experience. Classical concentration that focuses on one thing and excludes all others, and awareness, which is total and excludes nothing, are states of the mind that can be understood only by objective, non-prejudiced observation. Classical concentration is like a style focusing on one thing. Awareness, which is meditation, is you don't focus on just one thing. You don't focus on just one style. You're open to everything. It's total. So concentration is likened to style. Meditation is likened to no style. When you're in meditation, there is no style. You're just open and aware to everything. Awareness has no frontier. It is a giving of your whole being without exclusion. Concentration is a narrowing down of the mind, but we are concerned with the total process of living, and to concentrate exclusively on any particular aspect of life belittles life. So look at life as a whole. So imagine from birth until death, and say you live 100 years. He's saying to see it as a whole, appreciate the whole. Don't just focus on one part of your life and concentrate on one part and focus on just one part and then forget about the rest. So don't think that, oh, from the age of 20 to 30, that's the juice of life and that's all of life. That belittles life because you're only taking 10 years out of 100 years and you're only concentrating on those 10 years to be of something that is significant or important. It's like saying, he's saying like pretty much enjoy the whole of life, all 100 years. Do not concentrate on one aspect of life, but focus on life as a whole and appreciate life in its totality from birth until death. The moment has not yesterday or tomorrow. It is not the result of thought and therefore has not time. He's talking about being in the moment. He's talking about meditation again. He's talking about being in the present moment. When you are aware of this present moment right now, there is no yesterday, there is no tomorrow. There's just this moment right now. And the whole book of Eckhart Tolle is teaching that basic, simple concept and understanding. And that's the foundation to meditation. The Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, is just focused just on that teaching alone. Staying in the present moment right now. Not thinking about yesterday, not thinking about tomorrow, but just being aware right now. And that is what meditation is. He's talking about being in meditation. When you are in meditation, you transcend time, because the time is only in existence because of the mind. So if there's a true understanding that there is no mind, then what it also equates to is that there is no time. Time is eternal. There is no past, there is no future, there's just right now. When, in a split second, your life is threatened, do you say, let me make sure my hand is on my hip and my style is the style? When your life is in danger, do you argue about the method you would adhere to while saving yourself? Why the duality? He's talking about real survival, response. And all the stuff in combat sport is not survival. Nobody's life in combat sport is in danger. Everybody in combat sport is playing a game. And a game is not real danger. It's not too different from chess or billiards or bowling or basketball or soccer. It's just another game to play. There's referees, there's an audience, there's preparation, there's medical staff standing by. Nobody's life is in danger. So when you're trying to analyze real survival tactics off of a game that is not based off of survival, but based off of entertainment, then you're not studying the correct method. Survival would be something like the animals in the wildlife. That's survival because their life is truly in danger. You see them dying before your eyes, becoming somebody else's meal. That is real survival. What else is real survival is maybe things that are caught in camera where there's real death. The police body cameras or security footage on the police dashboard, security footage, outside a building that happened to capture footage of a murder. These are situations of real survival. And that's kind of what Bruce is talking about. He's talking about real survival. I mean, if you are truly in danger and your life is threatened, how will you respond? Your mind cannot get in the way. You need to just be aware in that moment and to respond with that awareness. And it's a very different type of development when compared to training towards combative sport. Training to win a game is not the same as training to survive life-threatening situations. A so-called martial artist is the result of 3,000 years of propaganda and conditioning. That statement alone is talking pretty much against all styles. Every style, including the Chinese martial arts styles, like Wing Chun, including the Japanese styles like karate. It's like every single style he is pointing that statement towards. 3,000 years of propaganda and conditioning. Propaganda, let's bring it to the cage fighting. It's all about making this money. The conditioning the fighters to fight in a certain set of rules. You need to abide by these rules within the cage, otherwise you're not allowed inside of this cage. So the fighters are being conditioned to adhere to the rules of the cage. That is a conditioning. propaganda is for whatever they want to exploit these fighters for the profit, for the money. Back in the day in China or other countries like Japan, it might be using people for, religious reasons. Why do individuals depend on thousands of years of propaganda? They may preach softness as the ideal to firmness. But when what is hits, what happens? Ideals, principles, the what should be leads to hypocrisy. So they may preach softness as the ideal to firmness. But when what is hits, what happens? Ideals, principles of what should be leads to hypocrisy. So that's like these politicians preaching, we need to ban all guns. We need to disarm everybody. We need to live in peace. But then they're surrounded by bodyguards that have guns. Like the president has Secret Service all over him, surrounding him with guns. But then they say, we need to ban guns. But when shit hits the fan, when things really go down, and somebody's coming at you with violence, then you end up using firearms to fight back. So then what happened to this whole preaching about banning guns? When you need guns to protect yourself from this violence out there. When things really go down, the firmness cannot be denied. That hardness cannot be denied. The importance of the hardness cannot be denied. So he might be talking about an unarmed combat situation. Somebody is really trying to hurt them with hardness. And he's saying, you can't just beat the hardness with just all softness. There's going to be some time where you're going to come back with something hard to stop the threat. You can only be soft for so long until you need to fight back with something hard.